So I'm out with Joe and James again, and they're about to put the Hackney shoes on that I showed them making in a previous video. And I was just getting set up to watch them shoe this Hackney when I noticed Joe finishing this horse off in a rather unusual way. This probably won't make any sense to anybody other than another farrier, but normally you would take the foot forward to clench down the nails. As you can see, Joe is very carefully doing it in the normal position that you'd use for nailing. When I asked James about this, apparently this horse has serious issues with taking its legs forward. Apparently if you take its legs forward, front or hind, it absolutely freaks, and like big style freaks. So they've developed these alternative methods of finishing them off. You can see there Joe's using his clenching tongs upside down. He's managed to clean up the nails, shorten them, clean them up, clean under them, and he's now pulling them down. I'm sorry I couldn't get the other side of him to see it properly, but the horse was taking up the whole alley. And so he's using his clenching tongs upside down, which, believe me, isn't an easy thing to do. They make it look easy. He's obviously done this a few times. Well, they have. They've done this horse quite a lot of times. But it's something I haven't seen before, so I thought I'd just quickly film it and let you have a look. Obviously, it just makes life that much more difficult when you've got a horse that has those sort of issues. But as you can see, the horse is standing very calmly at the moment, but I'm assured if Joe had taken that foot forward, it would be another story. You'll see James in a minute finish off one of the hinds, and he does it very slightly differently. You've got to be careful not to rasp off the clenches when you're doing it this way, because you can't really see what you're doing. That's why Joe's taking a good look, making sure he's trying to take just the foot off and not the clenches. There you go. Right, now this is James. He's doing one of the hinds. He's using a slightly different method. He's going to use a clench groover, which just takes a tiny little nick of foot out from underneath each clench. It just leaves enough room to actually seat the clench into the foot, so that you actually keep a lot of the meat of the clench into the foot rather than just laying it on top, because then obviously when you rasp you take more of it off. If you can seat it right into the foot, you can afford to run the rasp slightly over the top without the danger of rasping right through it. Now this is an even more difficult method. When I was at college, we used to finish off like this. We didn't have clenching tongs. You used to have to hammer the clenches down, and it's hard enough hitting those tiny little clenches when the foot's the right way up, let alone with it upside down. So James is taking on a bit of a challenge there. Yeah, he's just gonna start them off with the clenching tongs, and then finish them up with the hammer. And again, just tidy it all up.
So Gary, don't do this at home.
Well, there you go, it's just about it. Oh, something slightly spooked it. Wind blowing through the window. Just thought I'd share that with you. Slightly unusual methods of clenching.